Hey, Boo! This is Wanda from the Black Women Travel Community. Thank you so much for watching. I'm joined today by Stacyann Forrester. Stacyann has been an active member of our community for some time. She came to the International Black Women Travel Jubilee in December 2021, and she joined the first ever Black Women Travel Mastermind that started in January. Yes! But thank you so much for being here with us. And I just want to ask you some questions about the mastermind. Like, what made you want to join?
Mhm. Hi, Wanda. I'm excited to be here. So thank you for having me on. And I think the mastermind just happened at the perfect time for me. I was about a couple of months out from starting my travel journey. And so I wanted to have something like the mastermind that will provide some structure for my work and travel. And it was just the perfect opportunity for me.
And let me ask as well. So it was 12 weeks. We started in January. We just wrapped
Mhm.
up the end of March. What was it like being inside?
Mhm. Yeah, so being inside, it was like a community of old friends, a community of people who got you, people who you saw yourself in. Each member of the mastermind, I could see part of their story was a part of my story, and so I felt comfortable expressing myself within the group from the first day. Um, and everyone was so open about their journey, and everyone was open about receiving and giving support. And so I would say that's really what it was like. Just think of a group of people who really get you and support you from day one. So it was a very nurturing environment, very nurturing community. Um, and because we're together for an extended period of time and on a weekly basis, you could see throughout the weeks how we that just grew stronger. That initial experience just became um, even more richer, even more deeper.
What would you say that you got out of it?
Mhm. Um, Definitely for me was seeing women who were already out there doing the thing that I hope to do and being successful at it. And also seeing other women in the group who were in that place where I was preparing to leave, preparing for their travels, and wanting to solidify how they would do the work thing, how would they be sustainable in their businesses as they travel. So I really got a great deal of learning from others, and seeing that this was really possible for me, and seeing that it was really something that was unique. Seeing that it was a journey that is messy, that there is no right way to do it, it's just your way of doing it. And so it gave me a lot of confidence to do it my way. Yes, I'm learning from these other ladies, I'm learning from Tinesha, I'm learning from you, but also being confident that I could, take on advice or tweak the advice a little bit to make it my own. It definitely boosted my confidence in being able to be sustainable in doing this full time.
I love that you bring up sustainability because if you know my story, I left in 2010 and came right back 9 months later. And so this is your first venture. So you just left beginning
Yeah.
of March. So it's almost
Mhm.
been a whole month for you.
Mhm.
Uh, Moving to Mexico, getting rid of all your stuff for the first time.
Mhm.
And I feel like you're doing all the stuff I wish I had done, but eventually did.
Yeah.
But that's the dope thing is having access to these stories, access to people's experience, because then you don't make those same mistakes. You don't have the same heartaches.
Mhm.
But I love that you use sustainability when you were talking about this a couple of times, because that is the whole point, right? Is to be
Yeah.
able to leave, support yourself, live comfortably how you want to live, the lifestyle you want. I love
Mhm.
how you said too, like take the advice or tweak it or don't take it at all, child, because everything ain't for everybody. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
And I do have this, like this, I would, this is my first time trying to do this long term. I did leave the country for 4 months to pursue, I guess at that time it might have been more of like a short-term sabbatical to support my career. So I did live in Ecuador from October 2009 to about March 2010. So I had a little bit of experience navigating what life is abroad. And I was mostly volunteering at the time. But this is very unique in that I'm trying to um, build my business sustainably and travel at the same time. So yeah, it's a very different experience, but I do think it has helped me to prepare for doing this full time.
So since you took what you called like a sabbatical versus like this time around, what would you say was the difference in your intention? When you took the sabbatical, did you think you just needed a break from work?
Mhm.
Versus when you left this time,
Yeah.
did you know that work was never gonna work? Like, like what were your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I don't think sabbatical was the right word. I used it, but because I'm not sure what the right word was, but it was more of the Ecuador trip was to support my career in global health and international development. So I saw it more of like a means to an end. I needed experience living in a international environment. Um, I needed, I guess, resume building activities to support that career. So it wasn't that I was leaving that career or taking a break from the career. It was actually a trip to support me advancing myself in that career. So I don't know what that's called. So I don't know if sabbatical is the right term. So the main difference is that I'm working on something that is truly my own, and the travel aspect I'm doing solely for me, instead of it being the travel is supporting a career in international development, because they like to see on your resume that you have experience abroad. So this is, it has nothing to do with travel, has nothing to do really with my business, at least in this at this time. So I would say that's the main difference.
I see, I see. Um, I'm curious about what your experience has been like. So a lot of folks want to leave and maybe they're trying to get rid of their stuff. And so you were just there. You were just there getting rid of your stuff, being very uncomfortable and
Mhm.
in transitioning.
Yeah.
So can you speak a little bit about how it's been for you?
Yeah, so getting rid of the stuff wasn't that hard for me. The stuff that was hard were my books. So I'm a professional astrologer, and our books are our sacred text. And I learn a lot from past astrologers, from various traditions, and not to have those right at hand as I continue to travel and build my businesses was really hard for me. So I have a big sister, and so luckily she was able to take about 3 boxes for me while I travel, and I did end up taking 5 hard copied books. And I know a lot of the books I could probably get electronically, so it was still something that it was hard. But I focused on the big picture, which for me was this lifestyle. And I was probably time for me to break up with physical books and try using more ebooks. So that's something I'm still working on that. And in terms of the actual move here, it went pretty smoothly for me. And I'm now in Mexico City. It's a very underrated city, I would think. I can't express how much love I have for this city. And yes, I've only been here 5 weeks, and I'm moving through as a traveler, as a tourist, so I'm probably not exposed to all the nuances of living here. But it was exactly the experience I needed for my first city. It's very vibrant, which was what I was looking for. It's very loud and noisy, but it's also very nourishing. It's also very youthful. It was the environment I needed for this for my first stop.
That's really dope. I love to hear that. Had you been to Mexico City before you came?
No, this is my first time in Mexico. I've traveled in this region. I've been to Guatemala and Belize and Costa Rica. And I do speak a little bit of Spanish, so it did help with the transition. The culture isn't so foreign to me. It's foreign, but it's not.
That's so dope. Wow. I love that because some people are like doing scouting trips and stuff like that. And that's certainly one way to explore. But I think it's a special, certain kind of experience when you just rock up to somewhere with your bags and it's like, okay, where I'm gonna put this stuff down? What's going on over here? What y'all do? How y'all do it?
And I'm not here forever, right? And I get to choose where I want to be. So I guess if you're trying to like move here long term as an expat, that would make sense. But I knew if I didn't like it, I could always change my ticket and go somewhere else. Like, it's not set in stone. And so, yeah, maybe in the future, I will go to a new place and I won't like it and I would have to figure that out. But luckily, I love it here.
That is super dope. I love that for you. I love that for us because we get to live through you now. So please tell the people about your work. Tell them what you got going on these days, please.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, I am an astrologer and mentor. And what I do is using the tool of astrology, which supports personal development, self-awareness work. I help women who are, like me, who've done that traditional life thing, done the traditional career, and they're ready for something new. But before that new thing could come in, there needs to be a space of stillness, a place of getting to know who this new person is outside of that identity they were once connected to. So that's just the kinds of clients I love to work with. That's the kind of work that I love to do. It's just helping others get more connected to who they are so that they can live fully from that place. Because I think there is some magic that happens when we finally feel free to just be who we are. Yeah.
Magic indeed. Talk about that. Where can people find you online?
My website is the best place, stacyannforrester.com. And I'm also on Twitter. I'm currently have no access to Facebook, so do not try to reach out to me there. But Twitter and YouTube and my website are the three main places right now.
So we have your website of stacyanforrester.com. Pop over there, hook up with your girl Stacyann. Stacyann is also joining us for the second cohort of the Black Women Travel Mastermind. That takes place on April 16th, I believe. I have to talk to the group to make sure that Saturdays are good for us the second time around. So if you are interested in learning more, here's a slightly long website. just go to
Yeah.
blackwomentravel.com, girl. And the
Mhm.
mastermind stuff is on the homepage too. But yeah,
Mhm.
mastermind, you know what to do.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. I'm happy that you made the move. I'm happy you chose yourself. I've been excited to work with you in the mastermind. Um, and I'm gonna tell your business a little bit. Stacyann identifies as an introvert, and I feel like you felt comfortable enough to speak up when you had something to say and
Mhm.
take up space. And that's really important that everyone in the group be comfortable taking up space, no matter, your personality or what have you. So
Mhm. Yeah.
I
And and Wanda, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do have to really speak on that because I'm not a big fan of group things. For that reason, I usually feel like as an introvert that I don't get to take up space, or the group can easily be focused on those with the most loudest voices. But this mastermind was totally different, and like you and Tanisha made it so comfortable for all of us to have space to show up as who we are. um, and I did feel like I got the personal attention out of it, even though it's a group space. I just want to make sure that folks understand that you do get a lot of personal attention, although it it is meant for a group. So don't feel shy if you're an introvert and you're like, I'm not a group activity person. No, this is different. This is really different. It's super nourishing, super supportive, even if you are an introvert.
Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. And I'm happy that that was your experience. Um, So yes, honey, go to blackwomentravel.com. That's TRAVL, blackwomentravel.com. Hook up with the mastermind, get the details. April 16th is the intended launch date. We would love to have you. Love, love, love to have you. And thank you so much, Stacyann. We're proud of you, girl. Um, and hope that Mexico City gives you even more than what it's given you these last 5 weeks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Y'all head on over to her website. Don't forget to hook up with Stacey and StacyanForrester.com and holla at your girl for all her dope services. And she's gonna have some dope stuff coming out too.
Yes.
All
Stay
right.
tuned.
Thank you. Yes, please do. Thank you so much for your time and for your participation and for sharing your experience with the people. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you in the internet streets. Bye.